Today I'm in Aldershot at F.T.Gearing. This company has no less than 15 Mazak machines. I'm going to meet with Jason Butler, who's the sales director of Mazak. He's going to walk me through their journey of investment. Jason, so we're inside F.T.Gearing's, what you'd class as it's almost like a Mazak showroom, isn't it? I mean, they've even done all the flooring to suit your brand. Quite impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah, absolutely. When we take the journey around this facility, you look at their branding, you look at their housekeeping, you look at the operators. They're all very proud to work here, and everybody's colour coordinated as well. You know, to every
Why
shop.
aren't you?
I've got some orange in my tie here, Paul. So, but yeah, I mean, let's have a look at the journey. I mean, 1998, first machine, quick turn 10.
Yeah, I mean, you still see a lot of these machines around. It's testament to their longevity, isn't it?
It is really, yeah. Well, you do see a lot of quick turn 10s, quick turn 8s. They still hold accuracy, these machines, and customers find it very hard to let them go.
So, but this is just a two-axis machine. This is was one of their first entries into Mazak back in the late 90s, just for turning.
Yeah, a pure two-axis lathe, and this is where some companies start. Pure two-axis machining. Lathes a lathe, a mill's a mill. But as we go around, you'll see that we can combine all those processes together.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the next step. So then here in Unit 11, they've then advanced their manufacturing capabilities by adding milling into the turning process. This was the next step, wasn't it? Next
step of continuous improvement there. So we're taking it from a two-axis lathe, going to a driven tool lathe. Okay.
And that's what these machines are then, these compact?
Absolutely. So, you know, we're reducing the work in progress that's going through the shop floor and looking at combining operations, looking at quick setup times on the machines with the VDI turret, and then we go over to the sub-spindle.
So then the quick turn 250 MSY, what does this enable them to now do?
So we're looking at completing the part in one operation, taking it from the main spindle through to the second spindle, giving you Y-axis capability. This machine's a 250 MSY. It's been here about a couple of years now. Every machine looks brand new when you walk through.
It does. I mean, but what's the real advantage to the business of being able to do that in one hit?
So we want to reduce the lead times of the parts coming in, raw material in, to finished part going out. Well, you're picking it up from head 1 to head 2 with full contouring C-axis on head 2. So there's no human intervention there. We transfer, so you can guarantee the accuracy from head 1 to head 2.
Okay, then. After this is where it gets really juicy. Let's go and have a look at the other machines. Jace, we're now in the next unit. Now, this is where they've started to make parts. Explain what the J200 is.
Okay, so the J200, it's that we've seen the two axes, we've seen the driven tools, Y-axis, second spindle. This is next level. So this takes some convincing from a purchasing point of view. So the J200 was designed and manufactured by Mazak to take everybody from a driven tool, Y-axis lathe, to the next level, which give you a true mill spindle. So this machine's got a B-axis on it. It's not a turning centre, it's a mill turn. So the machine's designed around milling capability with turning capabilities as well. If you look at the nature of this part, you know, there's lots of complex features on there with lots of mill turn features.
Yeah, I mean, how would you make that without a machine like this?
Okay, so this is where the solution really starts and the relationship grows and grows from strength to strength. It's a bit of a convincing exercise from our side, but it's a joint collaboration with applications and the team of engineers here. They know how to make that in individual operations. What we need to do jointly is pull these operations together, and this machine gives you that capability.
So this has got a tool carousel behind you here, so you can get many more tools than you could on a driven tool lathe as well. It's not just the capability of the milling spindle, it's actually having more tools to be able to do more operations.
Yeah, and the J series was designed and developed to take somebody onto that next level. So this machine here's got 36 tool carousel, it's a Capto C6, so we've got full flexibility with the machines of all the tooling within this facility. We've got a B-axis on there which gives you 1 degree increments on the B-axis.
And when you buy a machine like this, though, you do need a company that can help you on that journey, don't you? Because just putting a machine like this on the deck, you need that applications support to hold your hand, because you need to get experienced in making these things in one operation.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily want to be taking that on board as a turnkey. It is that application support element. As I said earlier, these guys know their parts, they know their processes, we know our machines. Let's work together, and it's a full training exercise to get to that level.
Okay, so my next question, does it get any better than this?
Of course it does. Let's move on.
So then the i200, this is their latest step, isn't it? This is, you know, pretty much as good as it gets here, isn't it?
Well, you say it's their latest step. We're just installing an i100S over the road. I think when you go in this facility, everything looks like the latest step because it all looks so brand new. But continuous investment year on year.
So what is the i200 and what is the i200S? What's the differences between that and the J?
Okay, so we're going up to a full 5-axis machine now. It gives you full simultaneous 5-axis machining with an 18.5 kilowatt motor on the mill spindle. It's a mill turn. It's a machine that can mill. It's a machine that can turn. It's got full 5-axis capability. But the parts of the machining here, like most aerospace companies, for the commercial and military aircraft, they're machining to sub-microns. So we've got a high level of probing in this machine as well. And anybody who knows in engineering that probes are not perceptive to machining environments, so we can keep that within the tool magazine. And with the RMI Cube, we can take up to 4 probes within the tool magazine.
So why would you want 4 probes then? What would you be doing with 4 different probes?
Well, if we're looking at true position on some of the parts and some of the critical features, you may want to put a standard stylus in. You may want to put a dogleg stylus in there as well. So, you know, we have to probe certain features of the part to maintain the process. It goes without saying when you walk around this facility that it's not just the machine tool. It's the systems they've got in place. It's the people they've got in place. You know, it's the machine tool's just part of the process.
So the latest machine that is over in the other unit, that is an S. Does that mean that one then has a sub spindle? Is that fundamentally the big difference?
So spindle 2 can pick up off spindle 1, and the objective behind that is to complete the job in one complete operation.
And when I look at these machines, Jason, I mean, the Integrex, when it comes to mill turn, it is the home of mill turn, isn't it? When you think about it, everyone, it's that first name that comes into mind. The machines have evolved a lot, and this is actually quite compact for the capability and the capacity.
Yeah, so it's not just about the machine, it's about the ergonomics of the machine, it's about the design of the machine, the aesthetics of the machine, the control panel, and you know, we're continually developing this machine. It's not a radical change from 1987 when we had the Integrex. It's an enhancement, it's a continuous improvement program on the platform. So,
do you think your Mazak machines have been quite integral in this company's growth and success, because they are doing exceptionally well, but they wouldn't do that without good quality machine tools, would they?
Yeah, it comes back to what I said earlier on. It started off with a very strong partnership. These guys understand their business, we understand our business. The relationship is not between me and the company, it's the whole team at Mazak, and it's the whole team here at F.T.Gearing as well. That's how it's all gelled together.